For Richard, the night we followed. The moon. Richard is 5 years younger than me, and growing up, he was the golden kid. No drugs, no alcohol, no trouble at school. 3 sports, 2 at the state level, and a beautiful girlfriend who adored him. My best mate. When he was about 18, something changed. We were sitting in the sun with his school friends, having a beer, everyone laughing, and Richard suddenly shouted something that had nothing to do with anything we were talking about. It made no sense. My stomach dropped. I could see in that moment he was fighting something inside his own mind that none of us could see. As the years went on, it got harder. The family felt it. Mum and Dad had been split for years, and neither of them wanted to believe what was happening. I tried to talk to them about it, but they weren't ready to hear it. The truth was, we all knew. We just didn't know what to do. At the same time, my own life had changed completely. After the plane, after what I saw, the doubt I had always carried was gone. I felt guided, watched over, close to something bigger. I felt like I was being shown things. I was in high spirits, and I felt guilty for feeling so good while Richard was struggling. Some people around us didn't understand. They thought I was disrespecting Richard by talking about UFOs and energy and light. The opposite was true. What happened to Richard broke my heart. It broke all of us. If you've ever loved someone with mental illness, you know it's the family who carries it together. One afternoon, Richard and I had a fight. We had always argued like brothers and made up 5 minutes later, but this was bigger. Things were said that should never have been said. I told him he wasn't my brother. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I wished I could take it back. I went to my room and lay there sick with regret. On the front lawn was our blue V6 family sedan, unlocked, keys in the ignition. Our biggest fear at the time was that Richard might try to harm himself. Before anyone could stop him, he was gone. Tires screeching, no phone, no shoes, just gone. For 5 days, there was no sign of him. Mum was distraught. My sister Taylor was in shock. The police and SES were coming and going from the house. That house was full of so much worry. It was hard to breathe. I slept for days because I didn't know what else to do. I prayed and prayed. On the 5th night, I had a dream that felt more real than a dream. It was like I went somewhere else and spoke to someone. When I woke, it was just after midnight, and my room was completely black. I lay still and went inside my mind and asked for help to find my brother. That's when I saw it. With my eyes closed, a flash of light in my mind's eye. I opened my eyes, still dark. It wasn't my imagination. I closed my eyes again, quieted my heart, and let it come. Beams of bright, intelligent light started coming from deep inside, like wings of light moving through the darkness. It was beautiful and powerful and gentle at the same time. I don't know if it was extraterrestrial or angelic or God himself, but I knew it was here to help. I asked it, "Is my brother alive?" And then it vanished. I went outside for fresh air and looked up. There was the moon, huge and full and alive, almost like it was talking to me. And something just clicked. A knowing. I knew if we followed the moon to the coast, we would find him. Even as I felt it, I doubted myself. After everything people had said about me, after being told I was making things up, a voice in my head said, "What if you're wrong? What if this is just hope playing tricks on you?" But underneath the doubt was something stronger that would not let go. Mum and her close friend Louise had one last plan. Neither of them had much, but Louise put her last $50 of fuel in her car. When they asked where I thought Richard was, I took a breath and said, "We should follow the moon until we reach the coast." Louise said nothing. Mum looked at me like I had lost my mind. I don't blame her. Western Australia is bigger than some countries. Once, you choose a direction you can't turn back. I started doubting myself again the second I said it out loud. Maybe it was stupid. Maybe I was leading them on a wild goose chase while Richard was somewhere else. But that night, the moon was so bright and so strange you couldn't ignore it. It didn't look normal. It looked close, swollen, almost humming. I said it a second time as we started driving down dark, winding back streets in Perth, streets I didn't even know. Let's just try. Let's just follow it. The houses thinned out, the streetlights disappeared, and everything outside the car went black except for our headlights. Around the first big bend, the moon disappeared completely. Just gone. All three of us noticed it at once. We leaned forward, looking out the windows. "Where did it go?" Louise whispered. The road kept twisting, up a hill, down a hill, another bend. My heart was pounding. I thought, that's it. I've got it wrong. I felt sick. I had convinced two tired, worried women to drive into the middle of nowhere on a feeling. I wanted to tell Louise to turn around. Then halfway down that strange, dark street, it happened. The moon suddenly reappeared from behind the hills, massive and low and bright, right in front of the windscreen, flooding the car with silver light. It took all three of us by surprise. Louise gasped. Mum grabbed the dashboard. In that moment, the doubt left me. That was the moment they trusted me. "Okay," Louise said quietly. "We'll follow your moon." Mum nodded, tears in her eyes, and said, "Keep watching it, Rob." For the next 40 minutes we followed it, and only it. No map, no plan, just the moon. Over steep hills I had never driven, past old farm fences and new suburbs half built, past a brand new estate of million-dollar mansions I had never seen before. Some lived in, some still just concrete slabs under moonlight. It felt like we were being pulled. I was calling directions like a navigator, left at the Bigham tree, right where the road dips, straight where the moon sits. My hands were sweating. Every time the moon slipped behind a hill, my stomach dropped, thinking we had lost it. Every time it came back, I felt a surge of hope. I kept second-guessing myself. What if I'm wrong and we're wasting the last of our fuel? What if he's not at the coast? What if we're too late? Street after the street got smaller. The houses ran out. The bitumen ran out. We were running out of road and running out of fuel. The bush got thicker, and the air smelled like salt. I could hear the waves before I could see them. Then we came over the last hill, the final embankment before the shoreline, and there was the ocean spread out black and endless, and the moon beginning to set, low and huge over the water, making a long silver path across the sea. And there, right in the middle of that silver path, was a glint. Moonlight dancing on metal, on a roof. Parked alone in a public beach car park that should have been empty at that hour was our car, our blue V6, our family sedan. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. "That's him! That's his car!" I shouted, almost jumping out of my skin. "Stop! Stop the car!" Louise slammed the brakes. I leaned out of the passenger window before the car even stopped and screamed at the top of my lungs. "Richard!" My voice cracked. Nothing. "Richard!" I screamed again, louder this time, so loud my throat burned. And then, from inside that dark, lifeless car, a voice answered. "Yeah." In that second, everything broke open. Mum screamed and started crying. Louise burst into tears, and I was crying and laughing at the same time. He was alive. He was sitting there, alive. 5 days. No food, no phone, no shoes, drinking tap water from a building site at night, and swimming in the ocean during the day to stay alive. He had no idea how long he had been gone, or that the whole state was looking for him. He just said, "Yeah," like we had bumped into him at the shops. I have never felt happiness like that moment. Not when I saw the lights over the plain. Not ever. It was pure relief. Pure light flooding back into my chest after 5 days of darkness. We found him. We followed the moon, and we found him. That night taught me that guidance is real. I asked for help, and help came, as light in my mind and as the moon in the sky leading us home. This moon experience happened in 2015. In 2016, my brother Richard took his own life. I am still upset every day. I miss him more than words can say. He was my best mate, my little brother, and I will always love him. This chapter is for him and for anyone who has lost someone they love. If you are reading this and you are struggling, please reach out. You are not alone.